Claude 3 has just been released, and in this video, we're gonna put it to the test. How good is it? Can it code? And is it gonna replace ChatGPT 4? Just taking a look at their initial briefing and some of the stats, it's looking pretty promising, and I've been playing around with it over the last couple days, so I wanna make a quick video kind of going over my thoughts, running through some use cases, and see if it's really better than ChatGPT 4. So let's get into it. So a couple days ago, Anthropic, the makers of Claude, just released their next model, Claude 3. And they have 3 different models they're releasing with: the Haiku model, the Sonnet model, and the Opus model. And today we're just gonna be focusing on the Opus model, as I wanna know what's the best chatbot to use right now. They have some benchmarks here to compare to things like GPT-4, 3.5, Gemini 1 Ultra, and 1 Pro. And you can see Claude 3 Opus does edge out GPT-4 by a little bit in almost every category, and even quite a bit in stuff like coding here, which I'm really interested in checking out. Overall, from these benchmarks, it just has a general increase in performance and accuracy, and even some of the other models like Sonnet and Haiku are just much better than the standard base models of some of the other things out there. Surprised they didn't put Llama 2 on this list, but at this point, it's almost kind of outdated. You can see that Sonnet and Haiku kind of line up to ChatGPT 3.5 a little bit here in some of the stats. Also, I do want to mention one of the big things with Claude that I'm really looking into is actually this context window of 200,000 characters. I believe right now, at this moment in time, this is the highest context window we have for an AI model that we can use via an API, which is pretty nice. And this $15 for 1 million input tokens and $75 for 1 million output tokens, I think that's a little bit on the higher side. Okay, so if we're looking at something comparable here, probably the GPT-4 32K context window, it's actually a lot cheaper. So that might be something you want to consider if you're using this for enterprise reasons. But even then, there's super cheap pricing for Claude 3 Sonnet, which also has a 200K context window, which is massive as well. And then same thing for Haiku, which is ridiculously cheap for 1 million tokens. To get started with Claude 3, you do have to be on their paid plan for $20 a month. You can get started for free, and they give you a limited amount of chats, but I think you'll run out after like 10 or 15 prompts. And if you come down here, you could pick on the different models if you want to use Opus, Sonnet, or some of the other ones down here. But as always, enough yapping, let's put this to the test. So I want to start this off with everyone's favorite. Let's build a couple games, shall we? Build me a snake game with Pygame. This is one of my favorite prompts to do, and I think is the standard for gauging how well these chatbots can code. So we have our code. I'll copy this over. Right, and now if we have Pygame installed and we have Python installed, we can just throw this in here and give it a run. And now we have Snake. First try, it's working perfectly here. Now I did try the same prompt on ChatGPT 4 and it gave me a very similar response, and it was working on the first time. So I guess it's not something to be too impressed by, but still, I'm always blown away what these chatbots can do with just a simple prompt. It's literally Snake on my computer. So can you make Flappy Bird in Pygame? Just from my experience so far, I felt it to be very comparable to ChatGPT 4. I've actually been using a combination of Claude and ChatGPT 4 to build out my new scraping tool, and just from my experience so far, they've been pretty similar. Let's check out this Flappy Bird script. All right, so we don't have a bird PNG. This one is understandable. I'm gonna put this one back into here and I'm gonna say just use a circle instead of a PNG. What I do like about this one though is in ChatGPT 4, when you ask it to fix the code, it will just fix the part of the code. What I like about Claude is most of the time it generates the entire new script for you and then explains what it changes after it, instead of just giving you the 2 lines of code that need to be changed. Because a lot of times when I'm coding with this method, I don't know what lines to change, and it might like say that, but like I'll be honest, I don't really read half the text anyway when I'm trying to code pretty quickly with ChatGPT. But you can see here I asked to fix the changes and it just gave me the entire new code. And now, oh boy, that was a close one there. Okay, so this is not the greatest. Let's edit this a little bit more. Space the pipes out and add a score. All right, so we have our new code here. And also, I do want to say the UI is a little bit buggy. Let's check this out. There we go. Now that's Flappy Bird. Of course I suck. Pretty solid. We're gonna say this one. If you watched my last video, I built out a scraper that lets us scrape LinkedIn URLs from a specific link, that being this Google link here with only LinkedIn profiles. Let's try this. Can you write me a script to scrape all LinkedIn URLs from this link? And let's see what it does. I want to just kind of throw this at it and see how it responds. Okay, so we have a very simple script here. It wants us to use Python and Beautiful Soup. Okay, so we're just coming in here, make a new script. I'll call it webscrape.py. And I already have Python and I already have Beautiful Soup installed. At least I thought I did. And let's give this a shot. This did not print anything. Let's check this out again. Let's put it back into here. Say this did not print any URLs from the search page. How can you add some console logs to help determine what's happening? I don't know. Maybe it's not pinging Google correctly or something. Okay, so very similar technique here again. Let's give this a shot. Found 0 A tags with class this. Okay, so it just didn't find the LinkedIn URLs altogether. Say, can you just scrape the entire page HTML and find the links? Don't look for the A class. I'll copy the code. Right, so I got all the URLs from the page, which is really nice, but I think it grabbed too many URLs. Let's edit this a little bit and add the www dot in here and run this again. Awesome, so now we have some URLs here. I'll take this, say list, and let's see, there we go. We got the 10 URLs for the 10 people on the page. Isn't that nice? So it's just like a little simple web scraping project we built out with Claude. Let's try some other things. Write me a simple outreach message to this LinkedIn profile. Make it normal, because a lot of the times these chatbots are not normal. And I'll come on over and I'll copy my LinkedIn profile and I will slap this into here. And I like how whenever you paste stuff, it brings up this here. It doesn't just paste it into the chatbot. So I can actually see what my prompt is while I'm doing stuff. Hi Mike, hope you're doing well. Came across your profile while researching about people using AI to help businesses. Really impressed by your background in development. Noticed you enjoy helping brands and businesses leverage simple strategies to increase revenue in less time. Love to learn more about your experiences. Right, okay, let's do this. So make this more personalized and casual and shorter. Add a PS statement. Oh, it's awesome to see how you're using dev and consulting background to help businesses crush it with custom solutions. That's a very unique statement to give from my profile. It's inferring a lot there. Totally jealous you get to ski when you're not busy. Sure, living the dream. It's kind of cheesy, but this is a pretty solid message. The thing that I'm looking for in this one is just how creative it is with coming up with lines. Write me a cold email to an automotive company to see if they're interested in automating their sales process. Let's just see what it gives us. If this was ChatGPT, it would say something along the lines of like, I hope this finds you well. Called it. I hope this email finds you well. Someone who's passionate about helping automotive companies thrive. I couldn't help but reach out after coming across company name. Honestly, not even that bad. It even gave like a PS statement here. Let's put the same prompt into ChatGPT and see what it gives us for comparison here. I'm on ChatGPT 4. It's gonna say, I hope this email finds you well. Oh my God. You know when an email is AI when it says this. So it gives like this list here. Interesting. I kind of prefer this response from Claude a little bit better. It's a little bit more concise. It did add the PS statement, but that was from the previous prompt, which I'll excuse that on. I don't like whenever it does this in emails. I think it's so cheesy. So I'm going to use this fictional resume here from John Smith. What does he have experience in? Elementary school education. So let's find a teaching position. So I have this listing here on Indeed for a music teacher, and we're going to build a simple cover letter using this PDF here. Write me a simple cover letter using the resume PDF provided for this job description. We'll also add the PDF from the internet here, and let's compare this to ChatGPT as well. Right, express my strong interest with a background in early childhood development, passion for working with children, believe it'd be a valuable addition to your teaching staff. My educational background talks about the educational background found in the document, particularly drawn to Houghton Academy for the Christian education. Oh, I didn't even know this was a Christian. That's funny. Happy to provide some job. Okay, it's not bad. Let's see what ChatGPT did. That's the one thing I noticed is they always go to a strong foundation and then like the education. Does this also do the same thing? Not really. Okay, yeah, it goes to more of like a general background and then dives into the education. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like going over it and I'm just leaning towards the Claude one in this example. I just, for some reason, maybe it's just because I've been looking at it for so long, but whenever I read stuff from ChatGPT, it has that kind of like AI robot tone of voice. If you guys know what I'm talking about, leave a comment down below. Like, I'm enthusiastic about the opportunity to contribute to your school's mission. Like, well, no shit, right? I don't know. Let's try something else. Turn this into a simple cold email to accompany this letter. Oh, it does seem to be going a lot faster on ChatGPT 4 here. This email from Claude is very, very long here. Let's check the ChatGPT one. Oh, this is also pretty long here. I guess it's kind of up to preference, what you prefer with these ones. Let's try something else. A grandmother, 2 mothers, and 2 daughters went to a baseball game together and bought 1 ticket each. How many tickets did they buy in total? 3 tickets total. Okay, this one got it, because the grandmother is also a mother and the mother is also a daughter. Gotcha. 3 tickets total. Okay, I got this one. There are 100 pairs of dogs in a zoo. A pair of babies are born for each dog. Unfortunately, 23 of the dogs have not survived. How many dogs are left in total? Let's see what we can come up with here. The answer is 977 dogs. There's like a little explanation here. Let's see if it might already be trained in this information, but oh shit, 377, 577. What the fuck? These models are just all kinds of whack. So maybe it's not 100% accurate in some of the reasoning, but let's try something else. Let's try this image of Spider-Man here. Sleeping early to fix your sleep schedule, not sleeping the whole day to fix their sleep schedule. Let's see if Claude can understand this meme. I'm gonna put it in and just say, what is this image? The image is a meme contrasting sleeping early to fix your sleep schedule with not sleeping the whole day to fix sleep schedule. The left half in the dark representing going to bed early, while the right half is brightly lit representing staying awake all day. That's not entirely true. There's some nuanced comedy in that one, I guess. Okay, so it understands the image and it reads the text correctly. Alright, this is just a dumb meme. Sometimes you find yourself on Electric Avenue with no outlet. I don't know what that means, but it sounds deep. This is goofy. Let's check it out. This is a meme image showing a street sign that reads Electric Ave with additional no outlet sign placed below it. Reads the caption, humor comes from the literal interpretation of being stuck on a street named Electric Avenue that has no outlet. Meme pokes fun at people trying to find deep meaning in mundane or nonsensical statements. Thanks for spelling the joke out for me. But alright, so Claude can now understand and read images. That's pretty nice and dandy. Okay, so I inputted this PDF that I found here on Pythia, which is a suite for analyzing large language models across training and scaling. I just wanted to see what kind of insights it would pull from this PDF. And it gave us a pretty solid response here. A new suite of large language models from different parameter sizes. All models are trained on public data, right? So it does something very similar to ChatGPT, where it goes through and kind of simplifies the information from this PDF for us. So it's pretty standard stuff here. I don't really want to dig into it too much because you get the idea. But you can throw in PDFs and chat with them directly inside of Claude. I would say it's about on par with ChatGPT 4. At this point, like if you're really looking for specific data pieces, then like maybe kind of use both of them and see which one fits your preferences the best. But I want to test out one last thing here, and that's to see if what was the first 3 questions I asked. And let's see if it goes back for our entire conversation and pulls those questions. It's taking a couple minutes here. I'm not having a good feeling about this one. Build me a snake game with Pygame. Can you make me a Flappy Bird game in Pygame? And then the question to fix the Flappy Bird game. Look at that. All right, not too bad. So far, I think Claude 3 is a great alternative to ChatGPT 4. Personally, from my experience, I found it to be just a little bit slower in some of the generations and on par, maybe slightly better with ChatGPT 4 when it comes to generating code. I'm definitely gonna give it some more thorough testing over the next couple weeks to see if it's actually better. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think the best thing to do is, if you have the money, is to have all these different chatbots and kind of use them in tandem. If something isn't working on one, you can always use the other chatbot to fix your problem. A lot of times when I'm using ChatGPT to code something and it can't solve the problem, I'll put it into GitHub Copilot and it will fix it like that. And now that I have Claude 3 to also use, I'll also be putting my errors in there to see if it can help me fix whatever kind of problem I'm doing. And this is a pretty solid chatbot model, and I especially love the 200,000 context window. So do I think you should cancel your ChatGPT subscription and head on over to Claude 3? Personally, I don't know. If you like using the plugins and the custom chatbots you get with ChatGPT, then honestly, that's probably a reason to stick in my book. I use the custom GPTs all the time for specific use cases. Claude doesn't have anything similar like that yet. And as you saw from my experience, sometimes the generations are a little bit better on Claude, but they do take a similar amount of time, if not longer. And at this point, I've found Claude's UI to be a little bit clunky and kind of lacking that seamlessness that ChatGPT is already flushed out pretty much. What I'm gonna be doing is using both of them just in case I run out of my ChatGPT 4 usage and I need another chatbot. So I hope this gives you some more insight on Claude 3. That's gonna do it for me in this one. I'll see you guys in the next video.